Hi, and welcome back. Wait, the game is louder than expected. Why? I said you. Hi, and welcome back to my next stream. I'm Chaos to the power of 10, and we will continue with Roadwarden. Hi, Carol. Hi, Hogness. Wait, thank you for first, Hogness. Here is your nugget. And thank you for second, Carol. Here is your nugget. There we go. Let me see. I haven't looked. Chaos, hi. Hi, Chaos, hi. 55 streams. Schnapszahl. You can, if you want to, you can drink something. 26 blankets sufficiently squished. It's such a good mod. You are the best mod. And that's not hard to do since, you know, only mod so far. Besides baby mod Carol. But hi you all. How's you? Each traveler sees with different eyes. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what we did last time. So last time, map, then we can show you. Last time we went this way from Howlerstel. Then there was the fallen over stone that we pushed away with this people from Howlerstel. And then we were supposed to go to the fishing hamlet to see if it is still going. We get a lot of money for this, okay? And there we found a young woman. And she is the daughter of Howlerstel leader. The one that is supposed to be dead. Or thought to be dead. I can remember that the Roadwarden before us were supposed to, like, bring her to her future husband. But he failed. And so he was not really liked in Howlerstel. But apparently she is here, alive. So I would argue that maybe he helped her escape. Because she said, yeah, well, my mother is the only one who is supposed to be like happy and adventurous and all that stuff, you know. And because I said no and disobeyed her, she kind of punished me in like going to marry somebody that I do not want to. And then she said, yeah, well, this fishing hamlet is now mine. You know, Howlerstel do not need the fishing hamlet, but it belonged to them. And just saying, well, mother, I do not care. Well, she didn't even say it. She ran away, took away this piece of land from a whole city, okay, and said, yeah, well, this is mine now. So I cannot see how she is better than her own mother. Different, but not necessarily better. You know, self-centric, I would argue. So, we were supposed to decide, like, or we are still deciding? Yeah. We are still deciding what we are doing with this situation. Oh yeah, and she has bow and arrow pointed at us. Well, and here's the problem now. What do I tell her and what do I tell the leader of the Howlerstel? I do not want to lie, because this is not a long time, like, how do you call it, a Lösung? It will not, like, the help with the problem. Especially not long time. Oh yeah, and in Howlersdale, the not priest, but the church people, whatever beliefs they have, druids? Yeah, the druids. They told us that Howlersdale do not need this fishing place. It would upset the wild or something if they would grow bigger. You know, because it is sinful, basically. But in their own words. I wonder if they knew that the daughter is here and also helped her escape. Well, we only have 30 minutes before we need to go to bed. I don't know. I don't want to, like, go around and, like, tell them, hey, your daughter is there, and then she gets captured, basically, and sent to her future husband that she do not want to have. That's not what I want. But I cannot cover for her indifferently. So I guess we cover for her until spring. She closes her eyes, takes a few deep breaths, and starts to stretch her arm and back, as well as walking about. You can see the tension leaving her shell with every step. Fair, more than fair, thank you. Tears well up in her eyes, but her voice stays strong. I would hug you, but you must forgive me. She grabs a strap of her rack as if it's meant to explain everything. It doesn't. I'm a little bit musky, so maybe you do not want to hug me because of that one. Bed, I just woke up. What do you mean you just... Well, I guess it is... Well, it is Monday. What do you mean you just woke up? Did you do a nap? Good for you. Egidia asked you to give her a few minutes and you return to Apocalypse. Once she returns, her hair is combed and she's wearing a brown linen tunic, slightly darker than her skin, with red trim on its neck and sleeves, long enough to reach her knees. It's as good as new, a relic of Thai's luxuries. Okay, have you ever been at the heart of the woods? Nay, we do nie hunt for beasts beyond the nearest hills and ponds. If I were to enter the deep roads, I would have some long preparations to do. Good gambeson, sharp blade, healthy shell, food in my belly and in a sack. She glances up at Apocalypse and can't stop a chuckle. And I would take someone with me, or a group of someone. But you already have all the help you need, I see. I did have a nap. Good job. Must be comfy. I hope you didn't do a nap just because of headache. Tell me about Astarion. She touches her lip with the tip of her bow. Well, I do know where he is. I spent little time with him, but he's a stranger with a pure heart, like it's made of iron. She glances at you. He does need talk much. Must be a warden thing, aye? Nay, I will stay around, he said. She tried awkwardly to imitate a male voice. I ride east next. East, I asked. To Howlers? Farther, he said. To the Enchantress, maybe. Eva, further than that, his own words. Farther, not farther, farther. Okay. She looks at you triumphantly. Wait, east. So, this way. To the Enchantress, maybe? Huh, what? Oh, he means the tribe of the Green Mountain, I'm sure. That's where they live, away from any road. I'm neither sure how to find them. Maybe one of the forest speakers could guide you. No, I had a nap because today was supposed to be my day off, but it started off not very off. What? Did they call you to work? I hate it when they do that. Is this your necklace? She doesn't reach for it and instead lowers her head to your open palm. Nay, 'tis ugly. Thank you. You found it here? Must be old, from before my time. Okay, how did you manage to survive so long, all by yourself? 'Twas knee so hard, but it will change now with the road cleared for larger beasts. She bites her lower lip. I eat birds, some green leaves from the top of the cliff, to keep my hair strong. Do you need green leaves to keep your hair strong? She touches it with an open palm, and I learn how to catch the small fish from the stream. The nights are near much better than in the woods. I admit, if near for my spell, the monster would have gotten through many times. The door is near enough. My smell is around, you see. They know I'm but food. You are a spellcaster? You ask, and she playfully touches her canine with the tip of her tongue. I've made many talents. Pray to me learn about them all. Is it safe to rest here during the night? She points her bow at the broken palisade. I do nie know, you tell me. I'm nie sharing my shelter with you. Your horse would nie fit through the door anyway. Better turn back to Howlers. Okay. It's time to leave. She nods slowly, still holding her bow, and observes you mount and leaves the hamlet. What? Oh, I go to the harbor. There we go. The coast reached the sea. That was, oh, here. No, I had an, The sea here is not like the one from Havlevin's port. The harbor and water most people see during their busy days are full of life. Ships, warehouses, traders, dockers. And of course, there's Sickle, the barrier island that provides the city with its lagoon, but also serves as a home to dozens of species of birds, monkeys and rodents. For most people, the sea is never silent. But if one travels to Sickle and looks west, or embarks on a boat and sails away, there are yet another view, a very different one. The never-ending blue, the emptiness, the thumbing waves, the monster swimming to the surface just to take a breath, not even interested in the wooden vessels. Many say that if one jumps off a ship with a heavy stone, they will drown before they touch the seabed. I mean, yeah. Here, however, the water can't be separated from the rocks that cut through it, like a swarm of mushrooms in a dark forest. Oh, mushrooms! You can maybe remember that I told you that my Mama Chaos bought me like mushroom growing sets again? And today I saw the first like clumps of mushroom, basically. You know, they do not grow looking like mushrooms, but they look like clumps. So the brown mushrooms are going. The white mushrooms are waiting. My day started with waking up at 5:15. Ugh. Even though my alarm was set for 6. That's not a good start. And that is a long text. Now I woke up while Carol was getting ready and I couldn't get back to sleep for a while. When I started to feel tired, I get a message from a friend asking me to help his parents. Then my colleagues at the union asked me to call them to set up an appointment on Wednesday. And they couldn't have asked you tomorrow? It's your free day. Ask me on my work day if I can set up an appointment. Then I had breakfast, went and had my friend, went to town to keep Carol company between classes, went grocery shopping, then went home. Yeah, you are deserving of a nap. That's a lot for a day. Even though well, I guess. Here, however, the water can be separate from the rocks. Shapes and sizes vary, but it's their number that makes them unusual. If you were to name each one, you would have to make up at least half of the names. I seek here shelter? No, right? And I am too far away from there, so we will have to shelter here. It's too dangerous to stay here. You can't sleep here, yet you have to find a safe place as soon as possible. You can find the closest shelter in Howlersdale, but the creatures of the night are surely going to attack you. Half a heart less. Oh, sure. Not that I have any, like, other option. Why don't... Oh yeah, So, last time we gave 11 goals to the Pelt of the North, the people there, so that they can go to the ruins to do their job. I mean, we still could ask for the mayor, I guess. What can you tell me about the tribe of the Green Mountain? Oh, she opens her mouth but needs a few breaths to respond. I compliment you for finding out about their existence at all. She rubs the back of her neck. I can't tell you much about them, to be honest. I wouldn't be allowed to, even if I wanted to. Ma, hearing the call of a little girl, sighs, flinches. It turns out the child is demanding a change of shirt. She points at a large stain on her stomach. What happened here? The mayor asks as she turns away from you to help the girl change, but doesn't wait for her response. I haven't spoken with a tribe in 10 years or so. As a child, I was told that one should never seek their home. She takes a look at her daughter. The new shirt is as worn and dull as the old one. It's an old garment for adults. On her small frame, it looks like a baggy tunic. Very nice, go play, she concluded absently and looks back at you, sighing with annoyance. My sister used to brag that she saw them once in the woods, doing the hunt, that they were wearing the faces of animals, looking like the beast folk. She tried to make a mask of her own, but the druids told her to stop fooling around. Kids are liars, my father said. She let out a quiet titter. Could I ask her a couple of questions? I'm afraid she's with the forest now. A bolt of lightning hit her right in the head. What? I'm sorry to hear that. Can you give us a moment as you frown a muscular, crudely dressed woman approach the table asking Thais for directions, something about moist logs and breaking boards. You stop paying attention quickly and instead wonder why the mayor insists on holding these meetings outside. She's so busy she needs to constantly be available for the others. I'm neither a threat nor someone important enough to be worthy of her exclusive time. It's all theater. She wants to show how much she cares about the others. It would be inappropriate for a married person to spend this much time with an outsider away from everyone's eyes. I guess that is the most noticeable, I guess. Great job, she sends off the worker with an encouraging smile. Though when her eyes meet yours, there's something playful to it. Okay, about the fishing hamlet. Apparently I thought I lied to you. I grabs a necklace I found at the hamlet. Have you ever seen such a trinket? She reaches for it, but doesn't touch it. In her green eyes, you notice disgust. Let me think, she mutters. No, I can't say I have. An ugly little thing, but tells me nothing. What? Anybody hates this. Okay, thank you. I need more health. The shivers wake you up. You open the window and see the dense fog covering Howler's Creek, spreading like milk through the entire village. You hear an amused squirrel coming from the main square and spot the dancing light of torches and lanterns. Yet the village remains calm and asleep. I allow the fog to touch my shell and fill it with pneuma. Ooh. Why not? If I can get like pneuma out of this? Oh yes, I got. Look at this. So much pneuma. It's warm here. I woke up at for 7. Had new students orientation from 8:30 to 10. Oh yeah, you started today as a new class, I guess. Yay, congrats, I guess. But why so early? Walked to Hogness' parents' house, hung out with his dad until Hogness got there and his mom got back from the vet. We had fun, I guess. Went to the library to get a book I need to read for class, got my library card and reserved the book. Then went back to class at 3 p.m. Ugh. But I was the only one there and running off 4 hours of sleep. My teacher said I could leave. He picked me up, gave me ice cream, and then we went home. I guess he is Hogness. Fish soup and mini baguette. As much as I like fish, I cannot imagine fish soup, to be honest. But I do like fish meat, basically. Yeah. Why was there a jump between like student orientation at 10 and then first class at like 3 p.m? That sounds unnecessary. Couldn't they just have put it all back a little so that you also can sleep a little bit more? I show him the necklace I found at the hamlet. Have you ever seen such a trinket? Nay, I do need buy trash. Really, nobody likes this. Offer your service to the 3! Yes. I am stinky and hungry, but yes, please. Okay. One more day, okay. Let's go over here so that we can get washed. Oh wait, there's also washing, apparently. How come I cannot wash here? You're weird. 1:30. 2 hours. How can this be 2 hours and this 1:30? This is basically like that far. Like this. So weird. How much time do I have for today? Still 8 hours. Okay. So let's go here, wash here. Hogness' mom makes real good fish soup. It has tomato, onion and potatoes and a little bit of sriracha. Yes! I was able to wash. But why didn't it give me any points? It's still empty. Why? You cannot do this to me. And now down here, there can I wash again. I was hoping for 2, you know. What? The yard is stained with carved up blood. The trail leading into the building. The hunters are tense, with weapons at hand, looking at you as if you're bringing them answers. You're approached by the guard in yellow armor. You heard? The lieutenant from Hag Hills. Hag Hills? Hag Heck Hills? I don't know Heck Hills yet. Who? A lieutenant. And we will hydrate. Okay. Thank you, Harkness. Okay, fled from the camp. She would be dead without our potions. What happened? A troll. There's a hint of shame in her voice. She says she stopped it, but not before it tore the other soldier to pieces. Better speak with her. I don't know where that is. The innkeeper greets you with a nod, and his eyes lead you to the bench in the corner. Tulia sitting with her head resting against the wall, breathing heavily, with clean bandages on her neck, arm and leg. Next to her are 3 small bottles, all of them open, but your nose catches no sense of ale. Her gambeson is on the floor, now more of a wreck than armor. Wait, who is Tulia? Should I? Oh, Tulia's camp. How did it change names? I guess it changed names. So it was the 2 people down here, and the one other guy got torn up by a troll. As you sit down next to her on a stool, she opens one eye, then another. Her grunt is hesitant. Do you need my help? I know how I look, but pneuma is already flowing in my blood. I'm good. Tell me about the troll attack. There isn't much to say. It came in the early hours. We threw and shot anything we could at it. After it broke through the gate, I had one last arrow left. My subordinate, her voice is bitter, gave me time to aim, and now he's gone. Oh. Did you manage to burn the other soldier? The sorrow in her eyes makes the shake of her head redundant. Summer is almost over. We should soon travel back to the city. I haven't found a Starion yet. And this game is without time pressure, so that's a lie. She shrugs. Well, if any city rat is going to criticize me for getting out of here before the end of my watch, they can jump into the sea for all I care. I can head back whenever. Finishing your dress. Are you all packed and ready? No! Do you still have my reward, or is it back at the camp? After a brief scowl, she looks down and shakes her head, snickering weakly. I knew you would ask me that. Yeah, it's all there. I took everything of value with me. Leftovers? God damn it. No food, no washing. Well... okay, at least one. How much time do I have? 3 hours. I cannot go there. I have a lot of food rations. Why can I not use it right now? Yes, at least one. One for now. About the goblins. We will get to it soon. We just need to prepare a bit and hunt down some game while most of us are unwounded. Give us one day and we will be done with it. Okay. Sleeping here is cheaper. I will sleep here, go over... Will try to wash myself here, go then over here. No, all of this is... All of these plans are not the best. I also want to go further this way. Well, we should prepare for that. Apparently this is a wild road, basically. Maybe we should go further this way then, like one of these. Oh yeah, and then there's this gate. So how was Chaos Day? Chaos woke up, got the phone call, cared for the mushrooms, cooked, and are planning stuff with Jello. I will talk more when the, when the ads are running. I do not want to sleep here. I want to sleep here. It's more, it's cheaper. And it's only 3 hours. Yeah. Now I can do this and have, like, clean, more magic. Do not need it, so... Yeah, this is better, I guess. Any leftovers? I'm unlucky these days. Well, I think I could clean myself some more. Oh, by the way, we are having nuggies tonight. No, I had potatoes. Oh, the ruins are open again. Yeah, I had. I shredded a lot of potatoes. Then mixed it with like bacon bits and eggs and some, pepper, salt and so on. Nutmeg. And then baked it. And then I put cheese on top and overbaked. I still have a good old leftover. So this is for the next 3 to 4 days. Three fish. The fish are cooked. 10 fish with traps. Yay! More money. I take the fish trap back? Should I set it again here or should I set it somewhere else for once? I have the feeling if I, we could set it up here, for example. But I have the feeling that it might not get me as many fish, or maybe it's harder to sell up there. I'm unsure. We can try. What? Oh. I thought like dismantle, like taking it apart. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, cannot wash myself. I enter the goblin's lair. You return to the northwest corner of the village. Northwest, so here. The goblins may have been killed or chased off, but their smell is still around, so Apocalypse is just as alert as it was the last time you were here. You tether it in the animal pen, the one with a single boulder, allowing it to gaze on the struggling, dry grass. Just in case, you take your blade with you, but also the other pieces of equipment. You don't expect the creatures to move back, but who knows when the next scavenger will move in to feed on the remains of the pack. Ugh. You stand in front of the entrance. The dried out blood now covered the older layers of dirt and rubbish. I plug my nose with some scraps of fabric and maybe cover it as well. No matter how disgusting this place is, I can endure it. I need all of my senses. Do we need all of our senses? Nah, covered. It helps, but not as much as you would like. When you find yourself surrounded by the chopped off shell parts, trash, bodily fluids, and feces, your imagination fills in the blanks of the vague sensations. Not looking directly at the place of carnage helps, so you raise your eyes and move forward. The building has 2 floors, with the upper one used to store straw and supplies. Since the roofs collapse, half of this place is covered with broken furniture, beams, bricks, planks, already overgrown by moss and fungi. The greenish pile makes you think of a side of a hill, though it's riddled with so many gaps that the light and rain can squeeze in between the debris. You try to avoid the puddles. Let's see what I can find. Oh. The lair is as crude as a rat's nest, yet escapes your words and senses. The sleeping spots are made of straw, scraps and clothes, feathers and moss, but are so old and clumped together that you doubt they are any softer than the rotting plank beneath them. The corners are filled with feces, and you don't think it would make any difference for the creatures to relieve themselves in the middle of the room. Ugh. You see broken furniture and all sorts of rubbish with no specific shapes, nor a purpose you can identify, and a stack of bones and sharpened sticks taller than you are. It's nothing like the humble shelter that the families of apes build among the tree crowns. It's tamed chaos, and nobody tamed me. Meh. An attempt at maintaining order in a place that creased to be a human structure, yet is still not a part of the wilderness. Just a few days ago, dozens of beasts were living here, but you can't imagine how anything could survive in such conditions. The walls are covered with black and green molds. The floor is very much alive with countless worms, insects, small lizards, and rodents running among the dirt and the fresh shell of furry goblins. The blood, guts, and flesh are covering way more spots than you would hope for. Something is happening in your stomach. Time to look for anything of value. I'm ready to spend even more than an hour in this place. I mean, we have 13 hours left. Why not? Oh, I am dirty again. The painful search takes you almost an hour. Yep. You move the carcasses around, look into the stacks of garbage, examine the sleeping spots. By accident, you make one of the piles of furniture collapse, covering the floor with yet another layer of chaos. With every minute, you get more upset about the state of your boots and gloves, knowing that some tiresome cleaning is ahead of you. Your disappointment grows. There are many stories of goblins storing unusual treasures in their lairs, but you find not even a single dragon. Could the hunter have been so sharp-eyed in their search that they have left nothing behind? Or were the goblins simply never interested in gathering things for which they found no purpose? You move a larger plank, an X-shelf leaning against one of the moldy walls, and you reveal something curious, a group of signs made with red paint. I look at the marks closely. Journey updated. The paint is old, placed with noteworthy artistry. It portrayed a large tree without leaves. Oh, just a bunch of branches. You saw a similar plant in the main square of Howlersdale. Did we? I would have guessed we talk about the magical tree. Its roots grow out of a human skull, penetrating its eye sockets and the open mouth, and a couple of red drops were allowed to run down the walls. Above the tree you see a single large word, though you can't read it. Huh? I thought we mean this one. The Beholder. We saw such a tree in the city? How lost there? I go outside, I need the fresh air and some water from the river. You feel a slight aching in your stomach. Where do you want to go? Huh. Weird. I mean, we still can go up here. But first I want to, visit the gate again. To figure out what happened there. Because I can remember we told the people from Held of the North what happened, and they wanted to, bring him here. There's fresh blood on the road, but the trail leads into the deep bushes. Quintus is leaning on the wall's parapet, looking around. Warden, thanks for talking with Dalit. Dalit? She bought me some supplies for my tusks and claws. Things could look better, but you know. Okay, cannot help him. 3 hours. How many hours do I have? 10. Then let's... I want to go to 3 hours? Wait, these are 3 hours, these are 3 hours, so I can go here. What I want to do is, kill the dead body or burn it before something can happen. The road is covered with paw prints. From time to time you spot blood stains spit out by someone with deep wounds. The black carrion eaters are circling ahead above the camp. I may not need to turn around. Oi, oi, oi. That's a big ape. That's not a troll. You don't reach the walls. The carcass is serving as a feast to birds and dragonlings, few of which are resting on the ground, waiting for the next wave of hunger. One of them gets back on its paws, giving you a warning stare. The path of the troll's charge is marked with broken arrows and puddles of blood. The soldiers fought bravely, but the camp will be of no use until someone arrives here with a wagon of timber. I cannot do anything here. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I had to flex on some people in another stream. Go to the northern road. A multitude of bubbles is coming from the lake, and there's a group of crows circling high above it. The howlers gather around you as you approach the tree. The smallest of them are hanging from the branches, while a few larger ones get on the ground, observing you from the tall grasses. Just in case I plug my ears. You stick the wax into your ears. The first touch is rather unpleasant, but after only a few attempts, the plugs seem to stay in their place, even after you shake your head. The one issue is that they distract you with a new muffled sound. The howling gets less intrusive, But as long as you have ears, some of it will reach you. I have the longest sub-streak for that streamer. I hope you will never lose it. I have 100 now at Alice, as has Biz. 6 to 2 months. I mean, it depends how often that person is also streaming, but that's a lot. Oh, subs, not view streaks. Yeah, okay. Wait, that how many years are that? That's a lot. Grab it and run. You picked up the old rawhide. You stretch out your legs, then dash ahead. At first the monkeys move away with a few unconvinced yells, but then those from above start to howl even deeper than before, and you feel as if your guts are starting to move, hitting against each other. You get dizzy, but not much more than that. Your movements are swift and confident as you ignore the muffled sounds. The larger creature try to cut your path, but being on the ground, they can't keep up with your legs. Without stopping, you grab the rawhide, then carry on, waiting for a few heartbeats before you change direction rapidly, now getting closer to Apocalypse. By the time you reach the saddle, the beasts have already abandoned their pursuit. You take a few deep breaths and inspect the rawhide. The red torn blanket is now worth as much as a bread crust. Still, it's not rotten. If the owner is around, they may recognize it. Oh, I cannot... Okay, fine. Go to the foggy lakes then. 5 years in 8 months. I guess 5 years and 8 months. Oh yeah, I can remember what the problem with this one was. Our horse had to be inside. Once you get on the ground, the large forage points at the old rawhide you are carrying by your saddle. Looking for a blanket friend, you will find one clean and all in creeks. This one will get smelly soon. The grass in the animal pen has managed to grow back a bit, which your mount welcomed with droopy, relaxed ears. I enter the tavern. Ah, I counted wrong. I'm just over 5 years. Still so long. I thought more the fish and the blanket, not the urine. What do you have for sales? Oh, wait. Wait. What do you mean I have 0 meals? I'm confused. I have rations. Is ration and meal something else? I show her the ocean necklace. Any idea where this comes from? She doesn't reach out for it. Ah, one of those that shine in the sun. The folks from Gale Rocks make them from the shells and dead sharks they find on the coast. You ask about a probable owner, but she lets out a puff. Could be anyone. I do not want to read. Oh. Some bandits? She makes an annoyed grimace. What can I tell you, dear? You know how it goes. Lost souls need a new path after an awfulness finds them. But the years go by and it doesn't get any easier. One day they take a pile of firewood, another one some bread and clothes. After they start hurting folks, there's no way back, even if they are not at all cruel. You ask her some more, but she's reluctant to give you straightforward answers. You don't have to worry about Glacier's band. They hunt, sometimes take this or that, scavenge after folks who get jumped by beasts, but she never tried to threaten my place. We are safe here, and why would they try to bother a road warden? I frown, but bite my tongue. If Hovlevin sends its soldier here, she may face consequences for supporting the outlaws. Okay, I want to sleep. Wait, even with rent, I lose food and cleaningness? Yeah. Well, that doesn't matter. What does this mean? Rent to rations. Oh, I can also pay with rations. The problem is with this. I mean, this one and this one I will lose anyway. And it doesn't matter if that is 2 or 1, because we only have 1 of these. So this one will stay the same. I can lose 1 thingy. It's better than losing 1 heart. You know? Sure. I do not like this. This house is not good for sleeping, weirdly. Once a man in black fur hears your steps, he nudges his companion and nudges towards you. They put away the old noose traps they were trying to fix, proper for hares and small birds. The tall one spreads his arms, thundering his loud welcome. A road warden, I guess we are going to see each other a lot. I'm Ian? Lian? I guess Lian. And this shorty there is Tsavi. The man in the black fur looks up, frowning. There's also the one-handed man you saw in the attic. Unlike the rest of the staff, he has an unkept beard and worn clothes made of blue fabric, patched with scraps of flour sacks. He's looking down to examine a trap, but his shoulders are slumped, eyes absent. Lian doesn't introduce you. Chaos, nice to meet you. Lian smiles. Were you at Pelt of the North yet, friend? He blushes. How is Dalit doing? Yeah? Who's Dalit? She's well, seems to keep the whole crew together. His voice gets drowsy. Her soul is young, but everyone listens when she speaks. She's always so bored at that one. His smile turns into a grin. Better say hi to her for us. Her boss was looking for hard drinks and healing potions. I wish I could have helped her. He glances at his companion, who currently observing a column of ants running alongside the palisade. They were offering good prices, and she was really good at dice and told us about so many monsters. Tizvi? Adjust his black cloak. Our traps won't fix themselves. Havard brings you to us. Lian frowns at this interruption, but says nothing. What's your plan? I could use some work. Tvi? Zvi. Nods. Lian. These voices. Voice gets even louder. Glad to hear that. There's hardly any fruits left around here, and even fewer mushrooms, so we are planning to do some bird catching, and soon. A hunt without killing. What do you say? Why would you need my help with birds? Don't you just let them walk into traps? How much do you pay? I can't leave my horse behind. I leave my horse behind in the other city? Leon glances at the cords used for snares. These won't do. We want to catch a runner. This big. He raises his muscular arm and stops it maybe a foot above his head. And bring it here, alive. We want its meat for later. The man with one hand interrupts him. His voice is weak but disdainful. Beasts out to be dealt with, not tamed. Bonding with monsters brings only death. He has the accent of a city folk, same as yours. Will bring us full bellies in winter? Bellies. Full bellies in winter. How much do you pay? It may be a scary trip, but it won't take that long. Just show up here at noon or before it. We will be back in a few hours. You will get 5 dragons. Ooh. 2 if the bird dies. That's a good price if for one afternoon, I can't leave my horse behind. Adds in 5 minutes. Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. Leon waves a hand, just like his mother. The idiot will take care of it. The one-handed man starts to object, but a hush, shut up from Zvi makes him sigh. His shoulders sag. Leon goes on. He's a loony and would stumble over his own feet on a trip, but does what he needs when told to, and you know he won't steal it. He hates animals. What's your plan exactly? Leon grabs a rope and shakes it in front of you. We will catch its neck. Your part would be to keep it from running. Don't hurt it, just make it busy enough for us to surround it. I feel like I could use better equipment. Well, you shouldn't need weapons for it, friend, but you may look for something worthwhile in Howlersdale. Leon points west. Akakius is all about trade. Not much for idle talk, but he sells things for all his folks. This all sounds really dangerous. That's why we want you to do the rough part. Sweet smirks. We are just foragers. A Roadwarden knows how to fight, aye? At least it's on its own, without its flock. You're putting me in front of a large beast for just 5 dragons. You haggle for a bit. When Leon gets easily convinced, it's Zvi who cuts your conversation short, even if his voice is croaky. It's also firm. You will get 8. Ask for more and we will do better buying food in Howlers. Okay, what are you going to do with your catch? We will tether it to the palisade for a day or 2, then take it to creeks. Our tribe folks have enough space to look after it through autumn. Maybe it'll drop a few eggs, even if not, it's fresh food. Is there a problem with supplies in creeks? They exchange looks. Maybe, but not big enough to make us pay you more. That wasn't the question. Creeks. Creeks? Creeks. Okay, wasn't there yet. I guess it's somewhere here then. Fine. Oh, hi 7. Don't mind me, I'm just chasing Hogness around the internet. Okay, have fun. Tickling in the throat. Meh. I will tell you once I'm ready. I turn towards the one without a hand. Do you not, Tulia? The man gives you a surprised glance, but then looks down and crosses his arms, holding his hand under his shoulder. I am a new man now. There's nothing that ties me to the army. You have crossed a great part of this land, greater than most. Have you seen anything unusual? He takes a deep breath. His voice is close to a whisper. There's fog in my soul. I was on the Eastern Road. Oh, hungry and sick, praying for the right to send its beast on me and save me for the pains of living. I remember the touch of fur and the breath of on my neck. The claws pinning me to the ground. I was waiting with my eyes closed. Then I woke up in the middle of the night, still feeling. I got back on my feet, walking until I reached the lights of this tavern, without so much as a bruise. I hate it when that happens. Foggy may have no faith in her heart, but the right used her kindness to give me a second chance. Leon frowns at the man's word, and there's cautiousness in his voice. He may be crazy, but it's true he came here after midnight, raving. Maybe the monsters don't like his scent. So you forgot everything? He hides his stump in the palm of his hand. And curls up. I have seen a dragon eating a tree, an ape that tore away the heart of a monstrous cat, and a wolf without fur that was as quick as a light night. Now leave me alone, evil spirit. Let my shame rest. I know, I just don't want to make Chaos nervous that we are calling you out. Oh, I hate it. I have do you know it when there's like a tickling, annoying place right in your where you are swallowing basically? Every time you speak. If you don't speak, it's fine, but I'm already drinking, but thank you, Carol. I mean, ads should begin soon anyway. Yeah, there it is. Then drink again, okay. That is really a bad situation for a game that is mostly reading. Okay. Yeah, I looked at the mushrooms. I can send a picture into the Discord for the mushrooms. Yeah, I got the call. They asked, yeah, how was it for you, the trial work? And I, of course, said, yeah, that was good. The colleague was nice, and so on. And then they said, oh, yeah, good. The colleague also said that they liked your work, I guess. You know, that they would like you as part of the team. And then I was invited to tomorrow to sign the contract in the afternoon. So right now is a plan to either I go sign the contract, go to the gym, go shopping, and then home. I don't know if it will be a little late then for streaming, or if I should shopping, sign contract, go to the gym afterwards and then go home. I have the feeling that would be maybe a better order. But yeah. I was already invited into the group chat, basically. I just feel a little weird to accept that invite, as long as I do not have sign the contract. Still that tickling. I was about to write, but then I remembered we are done with Dragon Age 2. The game that I put in, I have not heard about it. I don't know if it is necessarily a game that I would enjoy. But it is about a murder and figuring out who was the murderer. So I guess it is a puzzle game or a logic game together with adventure parts. First person, and it was free, so why not, right? No idea how big the game is though. You will come back from ads. The tickling is still not gone. Wait, we're a furless wolf friend? A furless wolf friend. I have heard about one. Our tribe folks saw it in the heart of the woods. A nasty beast. Let's hope it won't find a mate for breeding. It charges at you like a runner and jumps right at your throat. He touches his neck, so even the hunters stay away from it. Too bad we have no crossbow. I can remember a crossbow got sold somewhere. He raised his wooden club. Aye, better to avoid the deep woods without one. Okay, that is a hint. Get a crossbow. Do you have often travelers here? Leon's voice is like thunder. Nah, you may very well be the last one this season. Sometimes a group of adventurers, who knows why, and southern traders in spring and autumn. Most of our visitors are from the villages, are usually creeks and gale rocks. They leave goods at our place or just outside, and my ma barters in their name with the others. I mean, rocks, timber, furs, and barreled fish can wait a few days. Okay. Svi lets out a sigh. Not much to see here, aye? Trees, rocks, ponds. I've never been in Howlers. He starts, but then Leon chips in. I have a couple of times. A nice place. Kind folks, lots of grain. They have but one trader. Akakios. He pays poorly, but at least doesn't waste one's time. Gets straight to the point, see? He thinks for a bit. And they are all so tall, twice as tall as he is. He points at Svi, who frowns and squeaks back at him. Bullshit. You gossip for the next few minutes, but the things they share with you are of little use. They end up saying that you should talk with Foggy instead. She used to travel a lot and speaks with every visitor. I have everything I need. Let's hunt while it's still early. Sure, why not? Not that I can any, more dirty. Leon clasps his hands. Then we are going. Idiot, take care of the horse. He nods towards the man with one hand. Leon puts proudly a rope and a bag on his shoulder, while Svi shoves everything under his black cloak. They gather by the gate and mock their companion as the toddles towards the lake with an empty bucket. Where is the button I can use to send Chaos a cough drop? Ugh, I don't know. It also doesn't feel like. Wait, wait. Let me try something. Nothing but empathy. We all must deal with this version of this. I don't know if this will help, but I have like a neo-agün, I guess how it's called. They are bonbons that also have like a numbing stuff in it. So when you like swallow or spit, it also numbs the throat a little bit so that the coughing will stop. They are not really made for this, but rather for like sickness days. But yeah, well, maybe it helps. Yeah, please don't. Now you will have to live with me reading like this, so this will be interesting. Lian puts proudly a rope and a bag on his shoulder, while Zvi shoves everything under his black cloak. They gather by the gate and mock their companion. Yeah. I grab whatever may be of use for my bags and scratch Apocalypse's neck. Oh, where are we? Oh, we are turning further. The statue of a woman. Oh, I can wash here. Made of stone, she's holding a long staff. You're currently here. The air is fresh, just as it was in the tavern. The light touches the road and shrubs, blocked only by the single willow, wild and untrimmed. You're by a lake, too large for you to see its other bank, but there are only a few trees on the horizon. While the struggling bushes and grasses fight with layers of rocks, Zvi mentions that while the soil here is poor, one can still find plenty of berry scrubs around. Lian points at the grey rabbit, cleaning its fur near the brook. Noticing your gaze, it hops towards the nearest shrub. Right after it sinks into the leaves. You hear it squeal, cut off quickly. Oh dear, shouts the large man, while his companion starts to laugh. Caught between two stones. Huh? You wait for a long minute with a hand on your axe, but the creature doesn't return. Don't worry, friend, says Lian. Just don't follow its lead. Wait. It's just a rabbit, right? Carrying your belongings on your own is surprisingly tiring, and you make noises with every turn. You relax a bit then turn towards the stone statue of a young woman. I'll approach it. Such a monument would be a better fit for a temple or a rich city folk's house. Here, without any cover, is already losing its shape from the rains and dust. Chunks of the face and hair have already broken off. It has detailed eyes and human-like proportions, and the clothes are like fabric petrified by a spell. The statue carries the usual traveling equipment, a walking staff, a gambeson, simple pants, now covered by leaves. A nice thing, isn't it? Lian thunders behind you. It's older than our home. I look at the pedestal. Maybe someone left here something valuable. Not that I would like to steal it, but you know. If there's a magical item, I could use it. You dismount and approach the bushes covering the legs and the pedestal. You see some old wooden bowls, as well as rocks. You try to push the leaves away, but the stems are thick and healthy, crowded with insects and spider webs. Until you remove the thicket, you won't be able to see if there's anything worth stealing. Thankfully, there are no thorns, and the touch of a leaf doesn't make your fingers itch. Zvi chuckles. What, looking for offerings? So do you know who this is? Nah, Leon is more focused on the fish breaking through the surface of the lake. It's old and the woman is a stranger. I heard no stories of it. My ma could. The bushes are covering its leg. We could clean this place a bit, reveal them. I mean, but what for? Sui narrows his eyes. Let it to someone who cares. We have things to do. Fine. Aye, let's not linger, say Leon, as he walks down the road. Okay, fine. Let's move. I thought you would help. Wow, that's a big skeleton. And crushed right at the hip. The valley is flanked by the hills. To the west, the grasses and bushes blend into the horizon and turn to another part of the forest. The 1,000 hills are grey and tall, with fortress-like rock faces and a crown of conifers? The northern ones have countless sand-colored rocks, lumped together like piles of rubble and clay, bearing hardly any soil or weed. The plants here are struggling. The grass is short and yellowish, sometimes dried out. The bushes have silver leaves, like many plants from sunny areas. The mushrooms can't hide in the shadows, but as you approach one, you see it's growing from the remains of a dead bird, while others are covering old branches and other plants. They won't last much longer. Yes, are you laughing at me? And I have the feeling I cannot laugh at the moment. Leon points east to the large bird at the edge of the horizon, which freezes in the middle of a step and turns its orange head in your direction. See, time to get ready. What's the plan? Well, avoid the beak and the legs and the trample. He pauses, inspecting the loop at the end of his rope. And don't hurt it. If you don't have to, we don't want it to be a bother. Sui yauntily drops his belongings in the middle of the road and jumps in place, rhythmically breathing. After that, he takes off his black cloak. He reveals a set of fancy clothes made of black leather, clothes of a sneaky adventurer. It charges like a moron. Be nimble, that's all. 1 or 2 ropes on the neck and we are halfway home. But don't let it pass you by, aye? Should I also take a rope? I can throw it at the bird and pull once it's getting behind me. I don't know, friend, says Leon. Roping isn't easy. Easy. Don't be too reckless. We don't have magic on our hand. Excuse? And we can't buy another Roadwarden, adds his companion, so don't make this a bad trade for us. I wait for them to get to the sides of the valley. They then approach the bird. It's tall as an apocalypse. Oh yeah. With wide breasts and long, thick, partially feathered legs that could easily trample your chest. Its thighs are thick and powerful. The point beak could swallow your entire forearm. Okay. Your steps are getting closer. I look around nervously. Are the foragers in position? I need to calm myself down. I focus on my breath. I try to speak confidently. How's it going? Can you just maybe wait patiently in place so my companions can nicely tie you up? Once you get to the pen with us, you will have all the rats and pigeons you can eat. I want to talk to the bird. The bird moves forward even before you finish your sentence, clearly unimpressed by your promises, but the sound of your voice and the illusion of control helps you calm down. Your hands hold your equipment firmly, and your legs are already bent, ready to jump. You can handle it. Soon the bird is surrounded by your group, and the pond behind it blocks its path of escape. Once it's realized that, it speeds up, charging in your direction. Who has thick thighs? The bird. The bird has thick thighs because it's like an emu. Here they say save lives. I mean, if it runs away, then yes. I take a good look at the monster. Now my drink is tasting weird because of the bonbon. It's tall, white, with a massive head. Its feathers are torn by the wind. They are vividly brown, white and creamy, longer than your hand span, coating the creature like a cape. Its steps are heavy and deliberate. The neck as long as a limb. Keeps moving around, sometimes staring at you with but a single black pupil, surrounded by deep orange. The light grey beak resembles the leaf of the local plants. The tip is curved, pointy and in no way smooth. It carries dozens of grooves, maybe a sign of an old age, or maybe a trace of hundreds of hunts. I try to find its weak spot. It's just a huge duck. A respectable opponent. I may be forced to kill it after all. Am I even ready to face it? Well, let's say it's a duck. It waits no more. It raises its head and makes a long piercing screech while it fills up the entire valley. Which? The feathers on its neck are shaking but also waving, moved by the muscles. It then flaps its wings and lunges forward, still shouting, charging at you with full force. I keep my ditch. Oh, my clothes is gone. I don't have clothes anymore. The giant feet are pounding on the ground, with every leap scuffing up clouds of leaves and sand. It lowers its long neck, pointing it at you like one would a spear. You do your best to find a balance between running to safety, jumping away from the beak, and staying close to hold the bird's attention. Its reflexes are so quick that you can't imagine doing all this while also trying to strike it back. Minekis, I guess we have, like, no... We are dirty as hell. We are hungry and we don't have clothes anymore. Or rather, armor. Finally, the beast lands a hit. Your Grambison does its job and protects your flesh. So, in pain, you manage to leap away, then wait for another charge. I hold my ground. What is grapple? I do not want to attack it. Oh, grapple is trying to grab it to stop. I have the feeling you do not just grab a big bird. Bigger than a horse. You know? That seems to be a dumb idea. You do your best to find a balance. Finally, you are lucky. The creature doesn't find a way to land a hit and observes you with respect. It turns around but stops in place when it sees your companions. It looks at you again, preparing for the next charge. Could my companions finally rope that thing? I got hit. You do your best to find a balance. Do I have to rope it? The creature pays attention to your movement, and once the rope flies towards it, it steps away, then moves into a charge. Preparing to rope you for the next attempt will take some time, but will also put you in a vulnerable position. Oh, that was a lot. Okay. I'm dead soon. We wait to duck at the very last moment. You try to catch the beast from the side, but it has enough time to peck your shoulder. Then you're back. Your gambeson is of little use, and you scream in pain as your blood releases. You press your shell against the monster's wing, trying to avoid its legs. The runner, as confused as you are, makes an angry screech and tries to shake you off. The feathers are sketching your cheeks and getting in your mouth. Once the bird gets rid of you, it runs east, not aware that it only helps your companions. No dying. Well, my heart is empty. Oh, wait. You move away, doing your best to get ready for another roping, but the creature is merciless. It keeps pushing, flapping its wings and moving its head, hoping to reach you with a strong thrust. Finally, it lands a hit, piercing through your worn gambeson. Underneath the pain, you feel the stickiness of your blood. You manage to leap away, ready for another try with a rope, but the bird is also preparing itself. That's when the loop lands on its neck, tightening quickly, and Svi shouts cheerfully. The bird remains silent, maybe already out of breath. But then it dashes forward so fast you can't help but step back. It either doesn't understand the danger involved in moving in its situation, or doesn't care about it. It runs forward, trying to flee. It makes 2 5 jumps. You hear Leon swear. Without looking at him, you know that he let go of the rope. What? I try to get it. I got really dirty, but I cannot get any more dirty, so... You try to get in the bird's way without putting yourself at risk, but it managed to get away from you. Your hands manage to grasp a few feathers, but the creature pushes you away with such of strength you land on your back. Your prey leaves you behind, triumphantly screeching. You look at it in panic, afraid that it may get to Apocalypse, before you realize that you left it at Foggy's place. You stand up and dust yourself off. After a minute, the forager approaches you slowly, with Svi wiping his nose on his sleeves. Well, chit friend, Dian says with a sigh. It won't be back any day soon. We better get back. His tone is friendly, but betraying by his angry, rapid movements. He doesn't look at you, doesn't wait, just hits the road without looking back. His shorter companion shakes his head and follows him energetically. Like they said, there's nothing we can do now. I get still paid, right? Because it was not my fault. Your companions are grumpy, but at least you move at a good pace. You have time to listen to birds and observe the hills and meadows. After you reach the lake, a blue wolf starts to follow you, hiding among the tall grasses, but it ends up disappearing among the thicker bushes. See nothing to be afraid of, says Sui, with a smile as he wipes off the sweat from his forehead. Okay, stretches. Up. Knack, that was my shoulder. Down. Thank you, Carol. In the middle of your journey, you think about Apocalypse. During your stroll, everything seems taller, and the creatures you pass by feet more real, as if they are no longer just shadows for you to leave behind. Being on the road without it feels lonely. Meh. Them cracks. Wait. What do you mean? I do not get paid? I lost a lot of heart for this. I would at least demand a food. For free. Just to let you know. Evil. Evil. How much time do I still have? 9 hours. Evil! I guess let's go here. How can this happen? I have the feeling that is bugged. It tells me to have like 1 plus, but then I don't get any plus. I cannot wash me. Hey, innkeep, do you have leftovers? No. I have more fish to sell. I need food. Without food, we do not heal. So we need food. See? There's another, and then... Can I have minus appearance? Is that what is happening? Evil! Mermaid man intensifies. I'm washing myself now the 2nd time in a row. And they both don't help me with my smell. So I say that is evil. 3 times? Does this game really have minus points? That shouldn't be able. At least that... Well, that shouldn't be possible. At least they should show me then. Oh, by the way, wait. Go back. Hey, Tulia. I've been to your camp, it's as good as gone. You explained that the broken entrance is in worse shape than she remembers, and that the scavengers are going to have a feast for a few days, if not more. She rubs the top of her head with her entire palm, glancing at 2 hunters who just enters the room. No longer my problem, she says to herself, but then meets your eyes and let out a sorrowful chuckle. Quite a monster we knocked down, wasn't it? Guess what? I met with Xaius? You mentioned the tavern and Foggy's care. Tulia sighs with relief and rests her head on her sides. Alive, that's good to hear. Deserter or not, how's he doing? He's a man of faith now, kind of. You vaguely describe what you have heard, making her scratch her shaved head. That's news to me. I used to know him before he joined the army. Never seemed especially bothered with Wright's teaching. One time I saw him with that. He freezes, then lets out a chuckle. Forget it. I'm glad he's alright. Okay. We need this. We need this. Don't tell me it will stay this way tomorrow morning. The rains once again hit the ground, interrupting your sleep. Another day of muddy roads. At least this time it went up. Any leftovers? Why? Evil. Go back to the well? Okay, fine. The armor is still not inside. Okay. Maybe you should just travel further this way. But the sleep up here is not good. We need to find a city somewhere here. Like up here. It is bothersome to go here or further and then have to like go back to Howlersdale. Can I finally put my fishing thingy here? You place a basket on the ground and grab a bowl and start digging, looking for a few larger worms. You bait the stick and push it inside the basket, looking it between the sides, then cover the entrance with the lid. Tying it together takes you a few good moments, but will be easier later on. You attach the entire trap to a rock and push it into the lake, far enough that it sinks entirely. Who knows how long it will take before something large enough swims inside. Still, it would be better to not wait for too long, otherwise the prey might die of hunger. Okay. Okay. How much time? 6 hours. 4 hours. 2 hours. I mean, we could go one further in this direction, for example. You follow the road, spread between the hills and lonely trees, until you reach a solid wooden bridge. Not older than a generation. You ride uphill, but Apocalypse manages to keep up. The dark woods in the south are behind a gentle humming creek, while the forest on your right was trimmed by the locals. It's a peaceful journey, at least for some time. After a few minutes you spot a group of wolves feasting on a fallen furry beast, maybe a Rysand. One of them looked towards you. You ride a bit faster. 4 hours. The road fades into an old tunnel. There are no signs of mining, no signposts, no human voices. The ceiling is supposed to be wooden. Oh, this is supposed to look like 3D, that it went in, and this is a hole in the wall of the right wall. I thought it is like a flat surface with creaks to the wood, and this middle part is fallen out. Or is it... wait, which one is it? Is it 3D or is it 2D? The chilling wind mercilessly bends the few lonely trees, while the scrubs oppose the weather patiently. The side path leading west is somewhat maintained, and you find both boot prints and cart tracks. It leads higher into the mountains. I tether Apocalypse to the trees and enter the tunnel. Why would I do this? Your mount observes the area anxiously, so you stay for a moment to give it a good scratch under its neck and say some confident-sounding rubbish. You unpack all the things you need to make a new simple torch. A log, some old rocks, a bit of oil. You grab your tinderbox and sit on the ground for a couple of minutes, preparing the flint and the linen char cloth. Decades ago, before the 1000 invasion, people used fire strikers made of thick steel, but all you have is a cube-like piece of harsh pirate? It's not the best, but it's enough to make a couple of sparks. The loud flickering yellow light unevenly hits your cheek with heat. You raise the torch, but hold it at an angle, letting the oil drip on the ground. Let's see where the tunnel leads. Why would I want to... Okay, I just say yes, I guess. For a few minutes you follow a fairly straight corridor. The timber surrounding the ceiling is decaying, but you don't spot any signs of collapse. The floor is littered with bones and rotting food, most likely dragged in here by wild beasts. But there are also signs of soot above you, and boot prints left on the dried mud. You reach the crossroads and stop in place. There's no sconce inside, so you would have to constantly carry the torch, or lose it for good, and it won't last for long anyway. The draft is hardly noticeable, so looking for an exit in the dark could be dangerous. Wait, don't I have a lantern? I have a lantern. Why don't you use a lantern? Don't I have, like... What? I have... I still have raw fish. Why do I have still... There is a candle here. Why don't we use a candle together with a... with a lantern? My lantern should last long. But we have a torch. What? Sure. You place a candle on the ground, then light it up with another few sparks from your tinderbox. You shove it inside the lantern through the hole on its top, pressing it onto a nail. You shake it for a bit, making sure it will stay standing. The candle isn't as bright as your torch, but it's safer, will last longer, and can easily be replaced by another one. The road ahead is like the one you just crossed, a human-carved, straight corridor supported with beams, while the other paths are curved and narrow. The only light comes from the exit, minutes away from here. I look around. The remains of prey and fruit are rotting, but get sparse the deeper you enter the tunnel. The moist walls are shining, as if they are made of an ore unknown to human tribes. You observe the dried trails. The one left by boots lead towards both corridors. The path to your right also has marks left by hoofs and wheels. Some of the fresher trails leading deeper into the tunnel resemble human souls, but deformed, lacking skin between their toes. What? Some of the trails leading deeper into the tunnel resembling human toes, or souls, but deformed, lacking the skin between their toes. Guys, is it just me, or do you also not have skin between your toes? Or is it just me that is weird? What do you mean? Resemble human souls, but deform, lacking skin between their toes. Let's go right. Oh. The corridor is unlike the others, taller and more rounded, with claw marks on the walls. It leads you to a chamber with a ceiling supported by a single beam. There's also an abandoned cart, the fence of an animal pen, and a few long sticky planks. Everyone has skin between their toes. Okay, then it's me, I am weird. You take a glance at the new exit. It leads slightly upward and looks a bit like stairs. I search the room. You find no cages or boxes, and the cart is empty. The one thing that draws your attention are the planks and logs themselves. They are in decent shape, flexible, though too moist to be worth carrying out of the cave. They couldn't be turned into a new door or maybe a table. They could be. Okay, I go up the stairs. You flinch after the light torch touches the resting bone. You flinch after the light touches the resting bone, but nothing tries to jump at you, and you hear no shuffling feet. You step forward and take a closer look at the remains of the massive creature. Oh! It used to be 2 times as long as your palfrey, 3 if you were to count the hind limbs. It resembles a bear, but its skull has no sharp teeth and is of a different shape. I take a closer look. The ribs of the creature are as long as your own trunk, though the age makes them brittle. You observe the long legs, horse-like head, and the massive stomach. You can't tell if you have ever seen such a beast alive, but surely not its trophies. You got exposed muscle between your toes? What? I'm confused. No, I don't have anything between my toes. My toesies are not attached directly by skin to each other. My toes are separate. A part that uniquely sharp are the creature's claws. They could pierce two sides of your skull at once. As curved as a war prick and as heavy in an axe, and the marks on the walls perfectly match them. While impressive, they are too old and awkward to be turned into tools. Leave the chamber? The air here is stiff. I leave the chamber. You feel the gentle movement of humid air. I move forward. You forge ahead for another few long minutes, no longer able to see the light from the exit. You would need to stand on someone's shoulders to touch the ceiling. So far, you could ride through the tunnel without getting out of the saddle. The sound of a stream is reaching you from ahead. This time, there are no side paths. I examine the tunnel. You spend a few minutes walking back and forth. Here the wood support is dense, with more beams, both on the walls and on the ceiling. The trash, on the other hand, is sparse, and you find nothing of use. The animal trails turn back to the entrance, with the expansion of a human-like bony prints. Bony. I move forward. The stream has formed a wide pond. You step it in a few spots, but it turns out to be only a finger or two deep. There's no sign of a bridge. I crouch and take a closer look at the water. It's clean, but the dark rocks and the lack of light camouflages its soft, sand-like bed. You find a few fish bones and other remains, but with every step you disturb the sediment, further clouding the water. The water flows from your right to your left. Its trail is wide enough to follow, at least for a few steps, and so tall you can do so without crouching. Hi bees. What happened? Unshrimp and hydrate. Okay. I'm drinking today a lot. Ooh. Unshrimp. And hydrate. Bees. Nom. Oh, thank you, Hogness. Bess, do you have hair? Do you have skin between your toes? I move forward? I do not even know what we are searching for. The open door to your right leads to a narrow corridor. You take a look further down the tunnel. A cave-in broke the timber, blocking the path forward. I look at the cave-in. You push away a few rocks, making them roll on the floor, but the blockage is at least a few steps deep. It would take an entire team of diggers to get through, if it's possible at all. You climb up a bit and peek through a large hole, close to the ceiling. There's a weak light coming from the distant end of the tunnel. Okay. Door? What door? Oh, there's a door. I go through the door. Why? Am I a skeleton? What? No, we had here a part in the text that says there are footprints similar to human but deformed, missing the skin between their toes. So, you know, Apparently it's a me thing. Hogness is saying that it is quite normal for humans to have skin between their toes. It squeaks. The corridor resembles the interior of a fortress, with flat, regular walls and a ceiling so low you couldn't ride through it. You reach another, much larger chamber, which seems to mimic the corridor style. Oh, there's something. The spoiled food and moldy planks make you hold your breath. The chamber used to serve a dining spot, with tables, chairs, shelves for mugs, and barrels of drinks. But all that left are worms and mustiness. You don't see the furthest wall until you bring your light closer. The open door leads to a new natural cavern. Another closed door is in the corner of the room, opposite the one you came from. I search the chamber. The place was abandoned in haste, but you find no signs of large creatures, bones, or destruction. The wood gives way only to time. A few of the barrels still contains liquids, so you wouldn't dare open them. Close to the exit leading to a cave, you find a hook with a simple iron key. You pick it up and it stains your hand with rust. Okay, I go through the open door. The cave is so moist that the diggers placed planks on the ground, serving as a now useless bridge through the puddles. That the diggers placed planks on the ground, serving as a now useless bridge. Okay. The rocks shaped like icicles ominously hang from the ceiling, in some spots merging with their on-the-floor counterparts and forming hourglass-like columns. I search the chamber. Oh. You leave the rotten planks and explore the cavern carefully, making the light dance on the droplets and puddles, but you find nothing of use or value. Okay, I try to open the door. The door opens quietly and you return to the main tunnel. You could turn south again and see if there's anything you missed, but after you blink a few times you realize there's a light at the opposite end of the tunnel. Far ahead, it's weak and flickers like a torch. I don't like that there's a torch. Sounds like people with webbed feet. There's skin between your toes, Carols. What? Not a lot, but a tiny bit where they are connected to the foot. Yes, but are they talking about that one? Am I wrong? Well, let's say in a footprint, you wouldn't see that. You know? Hi, Robo. Hi. Welcome in. Oh yeah, how is you, Robo, and how is you, Biz? You know? If it is like, if you have a footprint, you see the sole and then most likely the toes as separate thing. You will not see the skin connecting the two toes, basically. So telling me that this skin is missing seems weird. You know? Then you can just say, okay, it looks like there's no skin at all. You know? Yeah, but I still ask. I don't know if everyone wants to know. And I don't know if you want to tell everyone, but I want to at least give you the attention. Maybe Hogness is mutant, I guess. I'm just messing with you. Okay. Okay, I was doing good. Comfy? Should we go to the torch? I have the feeling the torch is a trick. Still carrying your light, you move forward carefully. You pay attention to sound and movements. But there's no crackling of a campfire, no wandering or chatter. You see a shape of a gate far in the distance. I look for anything unusual? You look down and just in time there's a cord stretched right above the ground, in a few spots holding pieces of wood and bone that are meant to make a sound if disturbed. You crouch and carefully cut it, putting the remains of the trap on the floor. Huh? I try to get close and see who's responsible for the light. You get close enough to recognize more distinctive shapes in the shadows, but your own light also draws attention. The one at the end of the tunnel draws near, followed by a few human-like figures. I take a few steps back and try to see who I am dealing with. The creatures don't shout or wail, and neither make threatening gestures, nor cast angry glances. You hear only the rattle of their bones as they hit against the rock floor. The empty eye sockets of the naked skulls reveal nothing. The 4 skeletons wear a few rags, and 2 of them still have scraps of flesh on their limb. So we are dealing with skeletons. Their weapons are unconvincing, simple digging tools and spears tipped with rocks. But you notice the speed and confidence of their movement. The one in the back is holding a wooden lantern while another one is carrying a fresh torch, but the group doesn't pay much attention to their steps. I reach for my wand? I'm a little bit confused. Adds in 5 minutes. I'm doing a little better, but I'm gonna probably go to work tomorrow. Reconsider. Depending on the undead movements and how much time and space it has to dodge, it may be difficult to land a perfect spell. I strike it. You reach for the willow wand and dash forward, casting the pneuma with a single swipe. It feels like stabbing the air with a wooden dagger. Your target almost dodges the invisible wave. Almost? The undead leans away for a few moments, and after it's straightened up again, it runs after you despite its broken rib. Okay. I try to run. You run with confidence, making sure you have equipment at hand. I run to the chamber with the stalactites. The water splatters beneath your boots. I run to the dining chamber. I leave the chamber. I keep running. I turn towards the stream. I run up the tunnel. I head back to the crossroad. I flee. Why would I go to the animal? You run through the last straight corridor. Midway through, the skeleton's rattle recedes. They let you be even before you reach Apocalypse. Hungry and sweaty, you look back. The light stops a few minutes away from here. Somewhere close to the crossroad, you won't have a chance to sneak by them. I need to face the undead. What? No. We travel. Why would I face them if I'm already on my horse? I spoke with Sayos. I wonder why did you decide to keep him around? Ha! Do I need a reason? Her amused eyes get thoughtful as she looks at the ceiling. He came here as a poor soul in need. Taught only how to use a spear and a shield. I know how it feels to have all that you're good at taken away from you. She straightens up and hits her chest with a fist. But so I know that no path awaits us, with or without the help of others. Sayos' legs may be buried in despair, but I'm ready to throw him a shovel, once he asks for it. She pauses, then looks through the window. Though these fantasies of his won't help him ask any time soon, they swallow his thoughts. No. I thought more like the fish. How can I sleep? Like, even if I pay rent, I still lose food and thingy. How is that fair? And why don't I get, like, magic back? This is gone. Ah, now I get magic back. Weird. Fine, you get some money. The dark skies don't let go. It's yet another night of rainfall. Never a break, huh? Your sleep gets distorted by the foul smell coming from your bundles. The raw fish meat is now rotting. I tried to sell it to her. Its state will get worse with every day, but even now you struggle to imagine that you could continue your journey with the smell around. I throw it somewhere where it won't bother anyone and get back to sleep. Meh. Well. Yeah. Listening to the grunts of the annoyed apocalypse makes you feel uneasy, but at least the furs covering the floor are helping you relax. You do not even notice when it's already morning, and while the smell coming from the lower floor is not inviting, at least it's not you who has to take care of it. One of them tells a story but stops once you approach them. Leon's frowns. I? So, Sayos, your boss told me you have some sort of visions. He meets your eyes and straightens up, reaching out to you with a dirty hand. I allow him. It rests on your shoulder, light like a bird. Your nose tells you that he hasn't washed in quite a few days. Well, we are not one to talk. Oh yeah, ads are running. I gotta go mod Elle. He fell asleep at his desk. Yeah, bully him for me please too. He needs to go to bed for sleep. I will buy ya later, Chaos. Bagya. I wanted to say, like, what? What do you buy? Okay. Have a nice look. Oh yeah. I wanted to buy tomorrow some jello because I had this idea this weekend of milk jello. Don't ask me why. I can remember it happened in Squishy's stream. Bleh. Bleh. Get numbed. Yeah, and then I looked up milk jello, and it is a thing apparently. What you are doing is basically you create sheets of like green jello, then I guess red jello and yellow jello, then you cut it off into cubes. Then you put these cubes in a glass and put the milk jello, that is just basically milk and gelatin, over it, so it has like a nice like white. Basically, the most is white, but then there are like places of green and red and yellow in it. Gross. I want to try it, and I want to send pictures. Squishy asked me to send my recommendation if it is good. Yeah, and that was what I wanted to buy tomorrow. Gelatin for the milk, and then different kind of jellos. Not sure yet if I want to make my own jellos, or if I just buy the color ones in cups. Well, I guess there is no yellow jello in cups. Ah, I don't like jello, that's why I say gross. Okay, fair. I do not like jello when it is on top of like cookies or cake, I guess. I don't like this. Or like tarts with jello on top. Blah. Blah. Food does not belong in jello. Not for me. Unless it is like pureed maybe, but not in chunks. And you should be back from ads. Hi. The right hears the prayers of the people, I mean of the 10 cities? All the tribes and the empress and priests, merchants, farmer. We thought things were lost, the glory behind us, punished by humiliation for our weak hearts. He starts to shake his stump a foot away from your face, but there's hope. His voice gets stronger with every heartbeat and a wild smile shows up under his beard. The White's test is behind us, and we, the sinners, have failed it. Now are the days of atonement and of the new cities, with new tribes and the cleansed land. We, you know, have to fix ourselves, change what we can, weed out our sins and bring fresh heart to the holiest soul carrier, and let them guide us anew, with new tablets and prayers, and a new church. The only church, yes. He steps in place, bursting with excitement. All the rivers will flow as one wave, and the new cities, the reborn cities, will wipe out the barbarians. He spits on the ground and sends them back into their chains. He points his hand south. We will come through the ashes, reborn into a power greater than any fortress, than 1,000 dragons, than all the ships and armies. He steps back, lowering his head. I, the humble servant, was granted this vision. I see. He gives you a harsh glance. What? Then walks away, nodding and raising his voice. Open your heart, or to the wave will take you too. Zvi presses a clenched fist to his lips, stopping himself from laughing, while Leon looks at the prophet with concern. Don't push him any longer, friend. He told you all that is already. Let's go this way. The road east is beaten and clean. What? Back from ads. Oh, what? Just now? Twitch told me like 2 minutes ago that ads are over. Hi again, will be lurking. Listening more will help me get accustomed to your cute voice. Thank you. Have a nice lurk. The road east is beaten and clean, with enough space to fit 2 wagons side by side. You pass by a few plum trees, apple trees, and cherry trees, but many more stumps, likely belonging to what has been turned into Foggy Lake. The life in the plains is busy and loud, but so far you don't see any lurking beasts. Judging by the many trampled part of the meadows and the fresh food trails, the foragers search this corner of the peninsula quite often. Peninsula. They didn't leave much behind. You reach a shining pond at the end of the forest. You're right beneath 2 trimmed trees growing on the opposite side of the path, like columns leading to Wright's temple. Shouts and heavy steps prepare you for trouble ahead. 2 shells are circling around each other. One of them is a 4-legged saurian with dark gray skin. Oh, as long as you're palfrey, but only knee-high. Okay, it's wandering left and right along the bank, hissing repetitively, sticking its split tongue out and then retracting it. The stout monster doesn't look like a born hunter of humans, but its long tail is swinging like a whip, for now only threatening so, but you don't doubt that getting hit by it would likely break your bones. Yeah, especially without armor. A few seconds or minutes ago, I take a while to type on phone. Okay, I just hope that Twitch isn't lying to me. The second one belongs to a brown-skinned man. I was shortly like brown/skinned. Like what? Wearing leather pants, a long brown wooled cloak, and the matching pelt of a wolf on his head and shoulders, like a haunting hood. His voice is both gentle and scared, and he's stretching his hand in front of him, trying to make the beast stay away as if it's a morphlan. A third shell is right in the middle between the other two. A creature you don't recognize from a distance, but it is in a puddle of its own blood and isn't moving. I write closely, taking a closer look at the entire situation. You stand up in the saddle to have a better view and realize that the corpse on the ground is but that of a white ibex. The man who acknowledged your presence with a nod speaks with a hint of playfulness in his voice, asking the saurian to be so nice as to stay away. He then turns towards you and points at the prey. "Friend, lend me a hand, will you? I'm trying to seize it." As you dismount, the saurian takes a step closer to the pond. "I don't think your ibex can be helped, kind stranger." "I don't think your ibex can be helped." He tilts his head and lets out a chuckle. "Nah, not mine. Was a kill, and I'm not a beast breeder." He points at his head, as if it's meant to be proof of some sort, the brown mouth resting on his forehead. "Oh, yeah, wolf. Forehead is quite distracting. But there's food in the middle of the road. How can I look away? This ibex is our destiny, friend." After a short pause, he whispers, "Say, do you have any fruit in those sacks? Throw some at it." He points at the beast. "I do have wild fruit." "Sure." "You lost a bunch of wild plants." You shove him a sack and he eagerly nods. "Perfect, go ahead, throw them." You grab apple and pears that don't look so appetizing and toss them towards the beast. They land just next to it, and while it walks left and right, moving its tongue in and out rapidly, it only crushes some of the fruit with its feet. "Maybe more would do." Without asking for your permission, the man grabs a few more plums, throwing them right at the beast's head. They land, and the creature cuts the air with its tail, hissing angrily, but other than that, nothing changes. "Now what? I think the fruit eater have those yellow dots on their backs." He starts, but clears his throat after he meets your eyes. "I have the feeling he's an idiot." "Why would I help him with the ebits?" "That's distracted." He scratches his hood and nods with approval. "You know what, friend? That's an excellent plan. Do so." Without another glance, he once again shouts at the beast, then dashes away from you, followed by his cape. The monster hisses and reaches forward, as if waiting to see what are you going to do. You step forward, hoping to draw the monster's attention as far away from the carcass as possible. It answers your challenge and shortens the distance even further. I try to look big. You take a big breath, push your chest forward, raise your arms above your head and shout. The saurian looks at you for a bit, then turns around and heads towards the pond. "Ha, dumb beast," you hear. The thief is already next to the ibex. You wait for a bit, observing how the creature gets into the water. It swims with ease, though you notice it's heading to the opposite side of the pond, instead of staying in it. "I don't know," the man chatters. "I try to do it the same way. Maybe I don't look as scary as you." I look at the wolf's pelt on his head. "Yeah, maybe." "Well, I will grab it by the legs and you by the head." He smiles without looking at you. "I'm lucky you were around, stranger." You tell Apocalypse to run ahead while the two of you carry the carcass, leaving a trail of blood behind you. The road leads slightly uphill. You pass the pond and approach the woods, even from a distance, seeing a distinct trail leading between the trees. Not a garden, this forest, the man speaks briefly, gasping from the burden, but not too dark, and cats are but a few. Boars are there, though, and gargoyles. Better not to go too deep, there are no roads here. His face is not much older than 20, shaved with great care, cleaner even than among the city folk. While his hood and heavy cloak mask his figure, he seems well fed and healthy. We are halfway there, friend. Creeks is a gorgeous place, you know. You will love it. I smile, I am sure I will. Carrying the ibex takes a while, but the man is incapable of being silent. Every unusual tree seems to be tied to a story from his life, and he makes sure that you notice the first stream you cross on a new solid bridge. One of many creeks, you see, he says with untamed amusement. A thin gorge leads you between the mountains. This place is quite susceptible to bandits. It truly feels like the end of the realm. I guess. You follow the trail of shouts and laughter. 7 people about 20 years old each are gathered at the wooden bridge, leaning against the railing, bathing in the stream, lying on the grass. Pieces of clothing made of fur and leather are spread around next to cudgels and throwing clubs. Cudgels. Once the sound of hoofs managed to break through the chattering, the curious young eyes, untouched by wartime, turn towards you, and an excited whisper spreads. The shells are proudly displayed, and the confident smiles are both inviting and challenging. "How's water?" the hunter greets his tribe folks while stepping on the logs. "Gentle and warm," says a man resting on his friend's shoulder. "That's a nice ibex." There are paths leading in many directions, but the main road will take you uphill. Awkward, as I walk past the naked people, I look at the watchtower. I still would feel awkward. The hills around you form a valley, most likely spread from here to the very coast. The main spring supplying the creek is cutting through the walls, high above you. The bridge is young and robust, enduring the weight of the wanderers silently, as well as your mount and belongings. A single person is waving to you from the tower, but the roof makes it difficult for you to see what they look like. Your guide speaks with enthusiasm. "We keep a soul there at all times, friend. Unless the night's so dark one can't even see the gate. It's not hard work, but it's boring," he says in a sing-song voice. I follow the twisting path. The palisade is as tall as trees, but being placed on top of the cracks makes it look impassable. How's the gate closed? The hunter turns to the watchtower and repeats his question, only louder. "Maybe call Ella. Too blind to see we have a guest, A hardly visible guard with a female voice leans from the tower. "He's coming, Howler. Relax." Her shouts hint of no patience towards him. "The youths dine in the woods after the bath. Why would we close?" The man glances at you. "Who's Ela?" "Just my brother. He gestures for you to ignore it. And I'm Elfrin. So thanks to our parents, folks keep mistaking our names." But Ella has a stick in his ass and is as bowing and nagging as a legless donkey. The soul from the tower hides again, and the gates open. We enter the village. The sparse clumps of grass surviving only on the edges of this spacious yard, the few onlookers wear working clothes suitable for their hard labor. They are carrying tools, planks, and logs. You are next to a large building of unusual shape, either a temple or a house of gathering. It makes you think of a cabin that's been getting larger over the course of the years, with a section in the middle being darker and more crude than the outer ones. A slightly overweight man is standing in front of the building, with open arms. "Welcome to Creek, friend." His voice and eyes are gentle, but they're bigger in his stance and gesture. Halfron was meant to hunt, but I see he brought not one, but 2 unusual creatures. The hunter rolls his eyes. "Don't embarrass us with this prattle." He raises his voice and fills it with bitterness, addressing no soul in particular, and maybe ask someone to help us with this ibex. "It's our shared catch," he points at you. "Now I want to know to whom we are grateful." Ella nods towards you. While I introduce myself, I observe him more closely. Slowly, the bonbon wears off, so the scratching comes back. Annoying. Being close to 30 years old, he's one of the older souls around. "Hognes, I have bad news for you. Apparently in this world you are one of the older souls. Just like the older villagers, he has clothes made of animals, not plants." I now have significantly less hair. Wait, did you cut your beard? The leather pants and jackets are humble, but the shoulder cape reaching from his neck to elbow used to belong to a yellow elk. His brown skin is darker than that of a farmer, and as you look at the outreached hands, they carry the marks of being cut by tools. "And I'm Ella, the carpenter. We have heard of you from Foggy." He takes a step towards the fruit trees and invites you to move forward. Like most men in the village, he is cleanly shaved. "How about I show you the rest of the village? It may be humble, but it's as beautiful as a blue starling." Now Carol helped me shave my head. Okay. I was worried for a second. Sure. As he grins, you notice his unusual white teeth. He moves with heavy but enthusiastic steps. It won't really take that long, but we have quite a view. "I swear," interrupts the hunter, "I'm not carrying this ibex to the kitchen. Some call the cook's." After dropping the carcass on the ground, he springs away, fretting at the blood on his hands. "Let's take a stroll then," says Ella as he leads you forward. "Your mount can drink at the creek here." Calm Apocalypse. Oof. It is a lot. Worried for my beard? I guess yes. I cannot imagine a Hognes without a beard, or clean-shaved. You tether your mount to a tree next to drying laundry. Ella points at the land behind the bridge proudly, our newest addition to the village. The hunters grow old, so we are taking steps away from meat and fruits. You spot only 2 people working in the fields, or rather a large garden covered with cabbages, carrots, onions and garlic, indistinguishable from the wild plants growing in the woods. On the path between the 2 halves of the field, an elderly woman is sitting on a stool, looking in your direction as if you're interrupting her contemplation. Old Hover there will turn this place into a proper farm, one day. She has little strength, but keeps precious memories of her trade. Well, you lack proper seeds. The good ones are expensive, Ella responds right away, as if it's a part of prepared speech. And we weren't sure about our soil. It's all just a test. He invites you with a gesture to follow him deeper into the village. And there are no seeds in Gale Rocks, while the folks at Howlers won't spare their own. They would rather force us to buy food from them. There are farmers So this is not on purpose. I was like, okay, when they speak, maybe that is a weird way to speak, that the W is after the H, but this one is wrong. It is white marshes, not her white marshes. So these are typos. All of these are typos. I thought it is just a how do you call it? When you speak but have like an accent. I thought it is an accent. But it's a dark place. Who knows what we would reap after a year. That's rough. That's rough, buddy. I do have an old pic of me clean shaven. The bonfire spot is surrounded by logs that were cut into tables and stools. Illa approaches the nearest chair, rubbing its back with his cut hands. When we share a meal, we do so here, sometimes beneath the stars. You would have to see it. The flames dance on the walls to the monster roars and crickets. Alfrin's voice also grows in enthusiasm. Dining at the edge of a forest is something you wouldn't forget. Unless you can drink, don't swallow anything stronger than spoiled ibex milk. The shadow's friend, terrifying. You glance over the wooden buildings. While the walls seem fine, the roofs are primitive, mostly made of planks that are already soggy and bent. There are a few people working on cleaning bark from a log, but the square is mostly quiet, with a few kids observing you from above their toys. Burning such fires must take a lot of wood. It's not something we need to worry about. Ella shows you to look around. We mostly turn what left after sawing and construction gathering fuel for a few dozen days. Some of us think they can learn woodworking all by themselves, Alfrin says mockingly. So we waste a lot of wood. At least we can roast meat on long sticks as we sit there. Nah, we already have results. The carpenter moved his hand from the chairs to his stomach. Everything you see here, friend, was built by us and our elders. How about I show you our old forest? Is it far away? You find the answer right away. You stand between two of the houses. Here? In front of the gate of an animal pen. The walls are made of sharpened trunks and are as tall as two humans. The captured beasts are tethered by ropes, but have enough freedom to wander and gaze. Two brown boars and a black morphlin. And here are our captives, Alfrin declared proudly. I know it's still a bit empty, but we will crowd it just before winter. Are the ropes really enough to keep them here? Can't they choose with them? Are you going to care for them in winter? The hunter swallows loudly, already thinking about his next meal. Nah, they are here just for the meat and skin. Once the snow falls, we will butcher them. The carpenter gives him a sullen glance, then squeezes the lower edge of his jacket. I would love to keep them with us. I don't even like meat. We could start a mufflin herd or any other, but it's too dangerous with such weak defenses. He leans on the gate. Our houses are too small for them, and having loud beasts outside during cold months would lure predators. We tried. He falls silent for a bit, and once he picks up the conversation, his voice returns to its previous proud tone. You will understand better if you take a look at our old forest, friend. He points at the area behind the palisade. I look north. The vast clearing is returning to life, with shrubs spread between the path and tree stumps. You move to the bridge, then a gateway, and have a chance to look around. We can see the edge of our world from the watchtower. Ella narrates sublimely. In the long distance, the plateau ends, surrounded by cliffs. Ye either climb up the mountains or fall to your death. Both men tell you about the difficult past of the village. A desperate camp, then a cabin, then two, shifting its wooden walls as more and more trees were cut. Without tree crowns, we can walk with no shadows. Beast dens gargoyles' eyes, concluded the carpenter. Is it really better than a forest garden? It would produce much more food. Now I only see berries. I'm surprised that the wrath of the herd hasn't smitten you yet. These pointed sticks won't stop a unicorn. You hit the heart of our worries, friend. Ela admits and is interrupted by the hunter quickly. We did what we had to do to push away the beasts. They don't feel safe here and don't seek food on the shrubs as they would on trees. Ela tells you there's one more thing to see, and as you walk away, he returned to the matter at hand. The animals keep their distance now, at least in the meadows, so hunting for them gets difficult, and meat with hardly any mushrooms and herbs gets bland. As long as you survive, that's no problem. A forest garden would solve the problem, sure, but we don't know enough to even start one, hence a field of berries. He taps his stomach. First we need to learn how to feed our children, relax strength and skill. Elfrin looks at you, but we have time. Okay, yeah, sure. Stay positive. You reach the edge of the village. A cliff as tall as a wall. Beneath you, two creeks meet each other and form a gentle river. These are the trees we used to learn more about woodwork. Also, Ela is smiling as he leans his back against the wall of a house. We plant new ones, but we will soon have to bring wood from further away. Give the saplings a few years, or however long they grow. A decade? And this is where I leave the two of you with your boring tree talk. Elfin points at you. See me later if you need. I will be around. I rarely hunt alone. The carpenter watches his departing companion with genial eyes? Well, there's work to be done. A new chair awaits me. He leads you to a humble working station, placed at the edge of the square. The tools you notice are very simple, if not primitive. We don't have to talk about my trade cares. What brings you to us? Well, old Pargus is suffering from a plague. The village is isolated itself from outside. He freezes, puts away his tools, then looks at you with wide eyes. Wait for a bit, will you? Without waiting for you to respond, he springs up and knocks down a few planks as he lurches away, asking the neighbor to call the entire tribe. Why? People surround you asking what's going on, and once the news spread, you answer dozens of questions. So most of what you have to say could be summed up with, I'm not sure. Aside from the worried faces, there are also more pragmatic ones. Hunters mention that they won't be able to deliver their autumn pelts, while one of the farmers wonder about her cousin. She was always so pious, she says with an accent you remember from old Pegasus. May the right reward her prayers or else. Are you warning your god? Or else. After some time, the crowd pays you little attention and Ela leads you back to his workshop. They and I will discuss this later, he says with an absent voice, then sits down and glances at his neighbors. I have heard about the bandits. Have they caused you any trouble? He makes an awkward cut with a chisel and lets out a quiet shit, then starts to rub the plank with his thumb. Bandits, you say? Soldiers from the city have already taken care of them. He pretends that there are no bandits in the north. I need to gain his trust. Is Astarion around? He halts his work and looks at you with an exaggerated frown. That's a weird question. You are the first road warden I have seen in, well, this season. I think. Did you check in the western village? You will get to Howler's Dell simply staying on the road. His right hand, still holding a tool, is now squeezing his stomach gently. People say that Astarion has spent a lot of time in your village. You're hiding something. He adjusts his shoulder cape and clears his throat with a grunt. People, well, there's some truth to that, but Astarion isn't here, and we don't know where he is. He took our coins, but for fair labor. He moved wares to other settlements, patrolled the roads, escorted an old woman to a druid and back. Did you know you can get good prices for iron at Howler's Dell, but even better at White Marshes? Seeing your look, he turns away and rests his elbow on his workbench. His plans are his own problem, and I have no reason to believe he wants to be found, nor can I help you. This village isn't much older than you are. What is its story? He proudly raises a carving knife and gestures for you to look around. It may be a young village, but there's a lot to say. While his story is loaded with names, relationships, and step-by-step description of the growth of the settlement, and bothersome creatures, you get the good gist of it. The settlers arrived here 25 years ago, soon after one of the 10 cities had fallen to the Southern invasion. Most of them came from the capital, while some joined them along the way. They soon came to realize that none of the villages had enough space or the will to host a few dozen refugees. The folks of Gale Rocks used to have a much kinder attitude towards strangers than they do now, and they offered the newcomers to stay at the beach behind their village. Yet there was nothing for them to eat, other than what they caught in the salt water. They soon started their search for a land remote enough to not compete with the locals, and with the help of kind folks from Gale Rocks, White Marshes, Old Pagus, and others, as Ela vaguely states, they received enough wood and tools to turn a scrap of this plateau into a clearing, then a camp, a hamlet, and finally a village. Hey Chaos, check DMs and be nice. Oh boy. First of all, I do not like to comment on looks of people. I want to say this before I see the picture. The one with the with the shaving cream made me laugh. But yeah, the beard is better. I do like your beard. Please keep it. Village. Fascinating stuff. I try to pay attention. The tale is assisted by walking around the village, introducing you to the original settlers and their offspring, and showing you some of the treasures displayed in the House of Gatherings. A unicorn's horn found at the heart of the woods, a blue rock that's shaped and hollow like an egg, and is darker inside, and an arrow that hit the fried tape in an eye and knocked it down. Behind each of them there are names, stories, and memories. I will keep the beard, I promise. Good. At the very end, Ela leads you back to his workbench, holding a hand on his conspicuous stomach. To give his throat some rest, he turns the topic around. And what are the folks in Hovlevin like, friend? Foggy says there are thousands of souls at the capital, and one can go their entire life still finding new faces in the crowd. Oh, so much text. It may be, but my city feels lonely. There are many peoples around, but all of them are too busy with their duties to share their lives with others. People spend time with their families and close friends, especially ones they work with. They are close to each other, but no soul knows what happened behind doors. In the evening, the streets feel empty. It's hard to get to know people when everyone's so busy, but kids spend a lot of time together and build long-time friendships. One can easily find a group to hang out with. People shop together, work, take baths together, pray, and when one has nothing to do in the evening, they just go outside and seek company. It's not easy to build a strong friendship, though. Hard to say, the merchants are getting richer, the priests have their games. Craft guilds decide who goes in and out, and the workers have to compete. There are no monsters on the street, at least not every day, but there's this trust in many souls. Let's say you can't find people, but it is hard to find a good friend. Yeah. Other than the last part, it sounds similar to our way of living. Folks stay inside only to sleep or shag, and even that's not a rule. He adjusts his shoulder, cloaks and smiles, but we also form bonds, one big family and all. What do you think about Ephron? He gives you a surprised look. I care for him deeply, he's brave and has a big heart, but both of our pasts were rough. I don't think you need to hear about them. I have heard you have some issues with the eastern part. At first he gives you a bright smile, but then nods with a sigh. Aye, so our issues are so clear that folks gossip on them? I'm glad you came to our help, friend, but it doesn't feel right to admit we need help from an outsider. What is my job here? Everybody knows I am the Roadwarden. It's my job to help, and yet everyone says, well, maybe not. Not from an outsider. He stands up slowly, walks away and leaps over one of the log-made tables and looks for something in the pile of wood. In this part of the land there's already going to be something to do, always going to be something to do for a Roadwarden. He straightens up with a piece of charred wood in his hand and gets back to you as he draws black lines on the workbench. He mentions a few names. Creek, Foggies, Gale Rocks there, here's the lake. The map is simplistic and doesn't align with your own understanding of local distances, but you follow his description without issue. The path from here to south is getting too wild for us. He repents, making another few strokes. The merchants travel through the other route, through Howlersdale, passing by old pagas and white marshes. Once they reach Foggy, they already have full stomachs and many deals closed. And when they travel back, they visit in the same places again. Folks already know that trading here takes a long time. So you want me to give them an option to get to you first, and move west without backtracking, and do so all by myself. How exactly? Well, I'm sure you can find some help. He pats his stomach without noticing that he leaves a few black dots on his leather jacket. There's a few things you could do. Follow the eastern road and see if it's clear. Are there any safe shelter left? Any blockages and to get rid of? Is there an overgrown path to burn? Maybe see if the road from here to the western crossroad is safe, or if the carts could get through the heart of the woods, if you're brave enough. I hope you are so with sage judgment. Sage? Judgment? Seeing your puzzled look, he rests his palm on the table with a shy smile. I know I'm vague, but I bet you already know more about these roads than I do, friend. His eye turned to the map, and after a moment of hesitation, he rubs an uneven line with his thumb. You forgot to mention my pay. That depends on what you're about to do, The tribe has but a few dragons. To confirm his words, he entered the nearby house, from which he picks up an old wooden case, crude in shape and with an unsightly engraving of a three-headed hydra on its lid. Inside it, you see maybe 24 dragon bones. Let's say you will get a dragon for any news about cleared or blocked areas, and more if it takes real effort from you. So you want me to act first and pick up my reward after. You're playing with my patience. Are you not paid by the rich folks von Hovleven? His voice once again gets apologetic. I believe what I'm asking you for is your very job. I just try to motivate you to do it well, Roadwarden. I'm not your master, you will do as you please. How can you know if I'm honest with you? He looks at you in silence, then clenches his stomach. Can't, most likely, but the more news you bring us, the farther away from the village our foragers and hunters will be willing to roam. Foggy's boys as well, I expect. Sooner or later the truth will surface, and I will advise my tribe to take a lesson from whatever we are about to find. Where would you like me to start? Go to the shelter set just at the side of the road. There is a ruined campsite west of Foggy's. He makes a small circle on his map. Or you could go south to a cabin our elders built. He makes a large square. It's halfway from here to the river. Take a look around. See what's their condition. If there are any beasts around, you can handle a few small creatures, can you? So 2 shelters and then, you just want me to take care of anything I find? He laughs, but not with his eyes. Forgive me, friend. Okay. Thank you, Hogness. But you don't sound like someone with much experience behind them. You're nothing like Astarion. He took pride in his self-reliance. I don't like the way you handle the payment, but fine. He lets out a sigh of relief and squeezes his stomach. You almost made me worried there, friend. He then throws away the charred wood, returns to his stool and looks for his tools. I took a look at the dolmen in this house. It's safe. He keeps sculpting wood and asks you about the size and the entrance of the chapel. I have heard it's small, but not that small. Not enough for a group, but maybe a lone traveler. Without a mount. He looks at you with a smile. Pick a dragon bone from the case, will you? I don't want to stop now. You reach towards the ugly head of Hydra. Well, that's a start. Keep it up. I imagine being a carpenter in this part of the realm isn't easy. You have a healthy imagination. He rests his elbow on the workbench and smiles. I have patience, and I am getting better with tools, and there are some shoddy tools, he says singingly, and it's hard to disagree with him. They have been used for many years, with only the wooden parts being somewhat in shape since they seem to have been recently replaced. The steel, chisel, and saws are jagged and dull. The hammers and axes are made of stone. Some of them were brought here by the settler, and we can't buy any more right now. There's work to be done, but I do have a plan. You ask him to explain, and he's all too eager to do so. Okay, we are in bed. I request good night kisses. Okay. Good night, Hogness. And good night, Carol. Sleep well. Get out of my face. Oh, hi Squishy. Hi. Thank you. How is you, Squishy? You ask him to explain, and he's all too eager to do so. He enters a nearby house and shows you his most successful work, each of which has some shortcoming, noticeable even to a lay person. A bowl engraved with fish was poorly planned, with animals too large to fit into the entire space, and so a part of it is blank. A simple relief of 2 naked people in their embrace looks almost believable, but the legs are in one case too long and in the other too short. One chair has a broken leg, and the remaining 3 show that they are a bit too ambitiously shaped and got dangerously thin. The chest seems fine, but equipment sticks out of it, and the man acknowledged that he wrongly estimated the required size. Why are you working as this? I good, making dinner, how you all? Carol and Hogness. Ugh. It's getting too late. Hogness and Carol, there we go, are already in bed and got their good night kisses. Hogness said you didn't redeem kisses. Why are you getting kisses? Because Chaos loves me. Because you said... Wait, where is it? Okay, we are in bed. I request good night kisses. So, both of you get kisses. We have been robbed. But yes, Chaos loves Carol more. Don't do this. Well, at least you are not saying confirmed Chaos hates us. But he only redeemed once. And he still got his kisses. It's not like he got robbed. He even got extras that he can share with his partner. What do you mean? Confirmed Chaos hates me, lol. He enters in a shaped. Yeah, so you want to be an artist? Better. I want to turn pots, cups, weapons, cupboards, everyday stuff into things of beauty. Seeing your look, he pats his stomach. I know I'm far from mastering it, but trust me, these are so much better than the ones I did this winter. Oh boy, and I started only 3 years ago. Oh boy. His pride makes him look even larger, especially in the shoulders. There aren't many carpenters in the peninsula. Folks do things for their own use, but I will be a specialist. It's a city thing, Foggy told me so. Not just a jointer, but someone who does only a few things, but better than others. The tribe support me with food and time, and I will pay them back with dragon bones and prettier houses. I have the feeling if you, over 3 years still struggling like this, and it is supposed to be the city thing, then you need help. When he leads you outside, you start to share some of his excitement, but most of it dwindles away after you sit down at his workbench again, on wobbly stools, surrounded by broken planks and crude tools. I'm worried about this bandit seller. He looks at you for a bit, then nods slowly. Those are not some strangers, but folks of the north, our neighbors. One of them is from our very own tribe, and they don't target us, just strangers. You ask him again if he is sure no one from his village has been targeted so far, and after a cold eye, he reaches for a carving knife. I wonder about Elfrin? Is this game basically a story? It is D&D for singles? For example, here is my health, here is my food, here is armor, and here's appearance, and my magic. And there are dices that are like randomized in-game. So there are like monsters. It's a multi-choice story, basically, yes. Oh, I didn't see any of that. No a choice, madame. No. The cities are mostly talking, but on the road you have to do choices, most likely. Yeah. He slowly starts to speak, making sure his tribe folks don't eavesdrop. His soul is clouded. He thinks we have no right to waste what the dead have sacrificed for our sake. And that we disrespect them by staying weak. But all of it is just a cloak that hides him. He cares not about respect, but about his guilt. It takes a bit of convincing before he explains what he means by that. Our father died from claws, our mother from a bad birth. We used to have 5 brothers and sisters, all of them dead now. Poor. Some maybe could even have been saved, but not all, and surely not by being stronger. Yet Elfrin keeps thinking he had every opportunity to fix the tragedies, and he's to blame for letting them down. Him and I both. He falls silent. But at least I put my shame to use. He reaches for his tools again. We already have everything that we need. A beautiful home, enough food, fewer beasts than ever. It's going to be a rough lifetime for us. Oh, hi. Why are you knocking? What do you want to tell me? He takes his ring. But our kids will be fine. Okay. See you later. Wait, what? I told you that... Wait. Wait, you gotta go night kiss. Gotta got night kisses. Go to bed, silly. He's already in bed. Hey, Chaos, where are the workout redeems? I am in bed. Getting kisses and not bedding. I see you smile. But thank you for the knock-knock. I told you I removed them because I am now in the gym. I do not do gym and then work out at like streams too. You know, that's too much. Wie viel Uhr? 11. I still have 11 hours. Oh, but we have the 3 hours over. Safe. But Waltz, it was fun. Yeah, fine, but not with already hurting legs. So no. Maybe if I'm stronger and my legs don't hurt after workout, then I need to heighten the workout anyway, and then I could do workouts again. But no. Especially not yet when I want to start working. You know, I might get overtired. I can wait out for you into Elle with Marathon. By the by, there is a rule. We are not allowed to call him addicted. Okay? Elle with Marathon. I have Lexi with Just Chatting. With Pokopia soon. Or I have you and Koichi with Grand Theft Auto 5, but I do not know how long they are going to play anymore, because I can remember that they are playing for some hours now. 8 hours, yep. No addiction, gotcha. You are allowed to abuse him, just not telling him that he is addicted, because it's making him, mad. Or rather, it takes away the joy. So where do you want to go? That was the full list. Addicted to WoW. No. Stop it, or I bonk you. This will bonk you, by the way. So, yeah. I say Elle. Squishy, where do you want to go? Maybe I for once get multiple opinions. I know, he always bonks me. Oh, you want multiples, then now? To the sea kitten? What? Now? Who's now? Sea kitten? I guess you mean the tiger, but I'm not sure. Can somebody translate the squishy for me? Oh, no. Okay. Fine. Yeah, the kitten is hello. Okay. Done. Here's the raid message. Here's my Discord. Thank you. Yeah, tomorrow I go sign my contracts and I go training and shopping for groceries for the milk jello. And then yeah, well, I will be home. I hope I will not be too long out, otherwise my stream pushes back a little bit. Coming in from Mama K is very applicable. Also nothing I thought about. I just thought about the cats. Night night. Have a good night. Wait. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. Have a good night or a good evening and a good time zone. And we will see each other tomorrow. Was gonna request Nini kisses for the chaos. Not possible. It was my brain baby. Brain baby? You have 8 seconds to explain. Bye bye.